All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here today. My name is Katie Hauge. I'm the Employer Relations Manager at UW-Stout in the Career Services office. So again, thank you to everybody for being here. We're really excited to have Samantha with Great Northern Corporation with us today. Just a little note to all of our attendees, I will be posting a link in the chat for you to complete. It is our official registration form. So let me get that here for you. Make sure I'm sending it to everybody. There we go. So yes, if you would please take time to complete that form, just so we know who was all here today, I would greatly appreciate it. I'll continue to post that throughout today's session as well. So if you miss it here and still need to complete it, I will definitely remind you. Just if to those of you who don't, excuse me, who don't know a lot about the UW Trex initiative, it is a UW system-wide. So all 13 of the UW schools participate in these Trex. We hosted them virtually starting in 2020 to 2021. And so this is our second year, and we will be continuing this into the spring as well. So like I said, 13 different Trex, one hosted by each school. And this initiative was supported by System President Tommy Thompson. We know that getting in and seeing our organizations and our employer partners, getting students in there on site to see everything is really important. But with the pandemic, we weren't able to do so. So we all came together on a collaborative effort to do these virtual ones. And it's been a lot of fun, and it's been nice to be able to really participate and see a lot of different organizations. This is the last trek for the fall semester. So the next trek will not be till February of 2022. So definitely keep an eye out for that. So you can see all of that. As I mentioned here, sorry, I forgot about my PowerPoint. I will be putting an official registration form in the chat for you all. Again, I'll continue to do that throughout the session for those of you who maybe are joining late, but keep an eye out for that and complete that. We do have a website too for our treks. So if you missed treks throughout this semester, we have a website you can go check out. You can see them all the way back to fall 2020. And today's session will be up there as well after we get it processed and on the website. So definitely check all of that out. And as I mentioned, today is the last trek for the fall semester, and we'll pick back up in February of 2022. So again, today we have Samantha Ruff with Great Northern Corporation here with us today. Really excited to have her here. And I do have one quick poll question before I officially turn it over to her. We just want to know who is all here with us today. So if you can take some time to let us know what school you're tuning in from and what year in school you are, that would be awesome. Keep that up here for a couple of minutes. Probably not that long. That's a long time. Thank you for completing that. We're at 30%. Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to keep that up for a little bit here so we can have some more of our members and attendees participate in that.
Where's the poll, ma'am?
Yeah, is there a poll up here?
You're not seeing it? Darn it. I launched it. So I see responses coming in on my end. Let me. Thank you for putting it in the chat, those of you who are doing that. That's fantastic. I'm going to end the poll and I'm going to relaunch it and see. Relaunch the poll. Are you seeing it now?
I'm not.
No.
Darn, I am not sure what I'm doing wrong. Some people are seeing it because I can see some people submitting. Interesting. Well, if you are able to see it, go ahead and complete it. Otherwise, So a couple people can see it, but not everybody can. Keep putting that information in the chat. I appreciate it. That would be super, super helpful. I'm not sure why it's not coming up, so I apologize for that. But thank you to everybody who's completed it. If you're not seeing it, go ahead, just drop where you're coming from and what year in school you are in the chat. I would really greatly appreciate that. All right, well, with that then, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing my screen, Samantha, so you can share yours. All right, are you able to pull up your presentation?
Yes. Can you see it?
I can. Excellent. Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to hear you talk about the great organization of Great Northern Corporation, and I'm just going to turn it over to you.
Perfect. Well, my name is Samantha Ruff. I'm representing Great Northern Corporation today. So I will talk you through the history, kind of what our organization does, and then talk about recruitment positions we have available and what we have for students that can benefit your career. So Great Northern Corporation, we are a manufacturer. I'm located in the Chippewa Falls office, so Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, about 30 minutes from UW-Stout, probably 20 from UW-Eau Claire. And what we do here is corrugate or cardboard. So right away, I actually have a video from our CEO, John Davis. He talks about our company, the culture that we have, and then it also shows bits and pieces of the production and what we do, and it's actually all shot in Chippewa Falls, so you can see what our facility is and some of the things that we do here, some of our machines. So I will go on to that if it lets me. Oop. I tested it out before, so it should work. Okay. So I think it's like 2.5, 3 minutes long, so not super long. 3.5.
I do not hear any sound, Samantha.
I'm John Davis.
There.
I'm CEO of Great Northern Corporation.
Can you hear it now?
Started here in
yes.
Okay.
But my history goes back even further than that. One of the 3 founders was my dad, Jim Davis, and the company was started in 1962. So I have a long history with Great Northern. We have 5 business units. Our largest business unit is packaging. They make corrugated packaging and point of sale boxes. The next largest business unit is the Instore group, and they make retail displays. In laminations, based in Appleton, makes a protective edgeboard product. And then followed up with a couple of niche products. Stratigraph and Oshkosh makes a laminated folding carton. And Rollguard, our 5th business unit, makes a protective cradle for shipping rolls of film and paper. So a pretty diverse mix of products. Corrugated brown boxes are fairly straightforward, but it's amazing how much cost and time is involved in the logistics of ordering and delivering and storing corrugated boxes. Supply chain solutions are a tremendous way to take costs out and improve value for our customers. So we've done a lot with electronic exchange of information about inventories, delivery schedules, reorder points. As it relates to our in-store business, certainly seasonal promotions are all about execution, timely execution and quality. And I think we've really proven ourselves over the years at really being able to execute on those seasonal programs, deliver the product on time when it's needed to be in store, because Christmas isn't going to wait. We found that really our niche was in solving problems for our customers. And as we became skilled at applying technology and innovative ideas to solving our customers' problems, that we really helped them grow their business and learn more about their businesses, and we're able to grow together. And for Great Northern, it really challenged our team to become more creative and more innovative about solving problems. Someone asked me why they should work for Great Northern, I think I would say at Great Northern, taking care of customers is a team sport. And on that team, everybody matters. And I think that's our edge in hiring people and attracting people and retaining people at Great Northern. Well, we've been spending a lot of time talking about the next 5 years for Great Northern and talking about really what has brought us to this point and what will carry us forward. And realizing that there's a lot about the relationships we have with our customers and the relationships we have with our employees. And we're talking about that in terms of the fact that we have great expectations for both of those relationships. We want to build long-lasting relationships that are built on trust and mutual benefit. And we're finding there's a common theme over our last 50 years that has contributed to our success. And we think we can continue that in the future.
All righty. So I thought that was a good video. You know, he explains kind of who GNC is and what the different things or products that we can do. And then I thought it was neat too, because you got a little look into what our plant looks like. So just to go over a little history, kind of looks like a lot, but like John said, GNC was founded in 1962, and it did start in Appleton, Wisconsin. So in Appleton, that's actually where our headquarters are. And then 3 years later in 67, they took it farther and opened a facility down in Racine, 30,000 square foot. So it was smaller. And then 1976, that's when we got the corrugator. So what the corrugator does, it actually makes the corrugate product. So Appleton does still have the corrugator. They make quite a bit. I would say here in Chippewa Falls, we purchase about 75% of our corrugate board from Appleton. Otherwise, we do source it out, but that is a big part of what they do there is actually make the corrugate product. And then 86, you'll see Appleton got a bigger facility as well. In 1995, GNC acquired Laminations. And what Laminations does, basically they make that edge protection. So if you're going to ship, you know, big box of candy, let's say, and you don't want it to get broken, those edge protectors on the box of candy, that's what we would create there. And then 98, Racine saw another expansion. So 325,000 square feet they acquired. And then in 2004, that's when GNC acquired the Chippewa Falls facility. So prior to GNC acquiring us here, we actually were Kell Container, and Kell Container was around since 1964, prior to being bought by Great Northern Corporation. So did very similar things. It actually started it, Paul and Carrie Kell. They were in Eau Claire, so a town like 15 minutes from Chippewa Falls. They had 2 pieces of machinery and 3 employees when they first started. And then we actually acquired Lining Kugels as a customer. So that's when they moved the business to Chippewa Falls 3 years later in 1967. So they purchased the building that we are actually in. And since they purchased it in 1967, we've expanded 5 different times. And we need to expand again because we just keep growing and we have no room to grow anymore. So that's really exciting. And we, since 2004, just have continued to grow and grow and grow since it was Kell. And then in 2008, that's when GNC acquired Creative Carton in Minneapolis. So they actually have a location in Brooklyn Park. And then in 2010, we received first of the 2 HP digital presses. It was actually in that video, but if you're not in the industry, it's kind of hard to distinguish what it is, but basically it's a giant printer and it prints on our corrugate board. It's very cool. So that was a great addition. And then 6 years later, we got 2 servographic flexos. installed there. So we have one of them here. And then as you'll see in 17, there was a high-speed digital press. And then in 2018, we acquired United Display Craft in Chicago. So if you look at our history, basically, you know, we are pretty much Midwestern. So like I said, we're headquartered out of Appleton, Wisconsin. And then here in Chippewa Falls, we have a facility as well, Racine, the Twin Cities. Oshkosh is also a facility. And then we have 2 plants down in the Chicago area that we just recently acquired. I would say that of the locations, Appleton, Racine, us here in Chippewa Falls, and the Twin Cities or Brooklyn Park location are all pretty similar in that we service a packaging division and a point of purchase or in-store division. So the packaging division, I put few boxes just so you can see, but like Cummins are one of our larger customers. We used to run a lot of lining kugels through our facility here. However, Miller Coors transitioned to a different material, so we're not doing them, but everyone in Wisconsin knows who lining kugels is. So I added that. And then Perky Jerky is another one that we did, but basically we're able to design and manufacture packaging, and that can be for industrial, commercial, retail, it doesn't really matter. And we can directly print on corrugate, which includes digital printing, or we can do litho labeling. And we can also engineer non-corrugated packaging components through the custom packaging lines. That includes foam, wood, thermoform plastics to ensure safe delivery to our customers. So we have a lot of packaging business. We run a lot of boxes through this plant. So it's pretty exciting to see how that's created. A lot goes into making a box. You wouldn't think so, but it does. So I can talk a little bit more about that after I go through in-store, but basically our packaging division, we run everything here at the main plant. And then once it's finished, that can go directly back to the customer. We're in-store, our in-store division. So basically we create point of purchase displays here. So if you are, say, back to school shopping, or maybe right now you're going to the stores to get your tape and scissors and wrapping paper for Christmas, and they're in those temporary displays, that is what we actually create here. So it's a full range of in-store displays. It's turnkey products and service offerings. So it includes graphic design, structural design. There's lots of engineering behind it, concept development, you know, inventory management, that sort of thing. We do have semi-permanent, so like our temporary displays here, but our facilities down in Chicago, Illinois, they actually create permanent displays. So like I said, here, ours are more temporary. So like I said, holiday, if you think of those displays, if you're going back to school shopping in the summer, we do those here. And a lot of it, you know, a lot goes into creating the display that you really wouldn't think of. And this past year in 2020, we had 17 OMAs, so that's Outstanding Merchandising Achievement Awards for the displays that we actually created. So that was huge. That was really exciting. On this side is a few of them that we have. So, sorry, I'm just trying to remember what slides I have. But so here in Chippewa Falls, I'll speak to a little bit more just because that's what I'm familiar with, but we do have packaging and we have point of purchase displays. Since I've been here, the point of purchase displays side of business has grown substantially. So I would say we're pretty much 50-50. And here in Chippewa Falls, I believe I may have a slide on it, but we have our main plant facility and we have our fulfillment center. So I know I have a slide on it, so I'll wait, but this is our location so you can kind of see where they all are. The GNC laminations are kind of sprinkled throughout the US, so that's what you see there. So here in Chippewa Falls, so we have a main plant facility, which is where all of the production takes place. So we have a variety of different machine centers that can actually take the raw sheets of corrugate board, send them to the machine to manipulate them to be what the customer wants. So they can cut, fold, dye, glue, basically whatever needs to be done to them, we can do it here. Once it's created here, manufactured, we will send it to our fulfillment center. So that's probably like 3 miles from our main plant. At our fulfillment center, we have a workforce who will actually take components of all the displays, assemble them. We will have customer supplied product on site. So once the displays are assembled, we can put the customer supplied product into the display. And then once it's finished, we can ship it back out to our customer, or in some cases, we just ship directly to your Walmarts, Targets, Office Depots, that sort of thing. Our warehouse is also down there as well. We just did a very large expansion to our warehouse. So I think it totals in space over 300,000 square feet. So that was exciting. Like I said, we're growing. And last year with COVID, it was very uncertain as far as what was going to happen, how we were going to, maneuver that. We weren't sure what business was going to do. Got slow for probably a month. And then all of a sudden, everyone wanted their things. So despite COVID, we did have a record year, which was awesome. It was great. It was really fun to be a part of that. And then you'll see here in Swedesboro, New Jersey, we actually have a design office. So quite a bit of our business is on the East Coast. So we acquired the Swedesboro office, and it's much smaller. They don't do the manufacturing there, but they have 4 graphic designers, 4 structural designers, and then we have 2 sales individuals as well out there. So when I say Swedesboro, New Jersey, people, it's kind of crazy to hear, but we do have those individuals as well. So in Chippewa Falls, we have about 241 employees between our two facilities. And then in Swedesboro, we have, the 10 or 11 individuals. Our organizational culture, I included this picture because I thought it was fun. The individual sitting in the front was retiring, so it was just a fun farewell for him to take this photo. But we help our employees win through personal growth and a shared future. I would say that's really how we live each day to the fullest here at GNC. We're a team, and we make sure everybody knows that. We're committed to our own personal growth. We expect the best from one another, and we create meaningful roles that challenge and fulfill us. So I will say, just in my time here, if you're not learning every day, you're not trying to learn every day. So yes, many people think paper is so boring. Why are you in that industry? It's actually very, very interesting. There's a lot to learn about it. We definitely have a culture that makes it fun to go to work every single day. So it's a great place to be. We like to have fun, as you can probably see in the photo. We are hiring for individuals to join our production team right now. Like I said, our production team, we have a variety of different machine centers. So we do have positions available for operators, assistants, and that's across all 3 shifts. So we do run 24/7 during the week, but we do have our weekends off. And our hourly rate starting for that is $18 an hour. However, it does go up from there. So really, you wouldn't need any experience to be successful in this role. If you're mechanically inclined and you've never worked in a manufacturing facility, you could easily pick up on that. We are also looking for a maintenance technician on 3rd shift. So that hourly rate starting is $28 an hour. For that position, we do look for someone who has an automation engineering degree, just because they have the skill set to do electrical and industrial type maintenance. And then at our fulfillment center, we are looking for a line leader on 2nd shift. So that person runs a line. So basically make sure those displays are getting put together, the way that they should. All the cycle counts are correct, and each person is putting, the amount of product on the hooks that we have, or whatever the display entails. and then make sure everyone's working safely, it's a quality product, and the customer, the retailer, is getting it when they need. And then we also have fulfillment assistants, which essentially is like a line leader in training. So they're really the assistant or the backup to the line leader. And then once they've mastered all of their assistant duties, then they would be bumped up to a line leader. So benefits of our employment, the biggest ones I would like to highlight are our 401k plan. We offer a 4% company match. So to get that full contribution, you would put in 5% and GNC would match 4%. We also have profit sharing, which is my personal favorite benefit. Like I had mentioned, last year we did have a record year. So for profit sharing, we did max out our contributions. So we received 11% of what we had made back into our pockets. And we actually put them into our 401k here, which is nice. We have health insurance, dental and voluntary vision. Another great perk that we have is our near site clinic. So that's a clinic that our employees can utilize as well as their families. So we have a physician's assistant on site and a physical therapist and a nurse. And then the first 6 months that we had it, we opened it in 2018. It saved our employees $56,000. Which is crazy to think. It's a great perk, especially, if you have a family or you don't want to schedule, an appointment far out in advance. It's been really awesome. We recently shifted to 3 weeks of personal time upon hire, which is great. On top of that, we do have 10 paid holidays. So coming up, we will have Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then New Year's Eve Day and New Year's Eve Day and New Year's Eve Day and New Year's Day off. We have health fitness reimbursement. So if you wanted to go join a gym or something like that, we will help you out with that. Educational assistance. So if you wanted to go back to school to better yourself in the position that you're in or a different position here within GNC, we will help you out with that. Our longevity bonus. And what that means is we want to thank our employees who are here every single day and want to enjoy coming to work, and they make this basically their second home. So at 3 years, once you've been here, you start to receive additional, not dollar amounts, but basically a thank you for the time that you have put in with GNC. And then dress for your day policy, which I also like as well. So you're able to wear jeans and just be more relaxed and comfortable in your day to day. So our recruitment process, and I'll talk a little bit more after this, how or what we have available for students, but essentially you can find whatever we have available on our website, on our careers page. You would just have to search for Chippewa Falls. If you are looking for, a different location, it's the same thing. We're on the careers page, or through Indeed really is where you can find our openings. And then once you have your resume or application submitted, you will receive a call within 24 hours, or at least some sort of feedback to let you know what next steps are, and just notify you that, yes, we did receive your information. And then if you've moved past, or we believe that you're, capable of fulfilling a position that we have available, we will have a short phone screen. And basically that is to just go over your work history, but also fill you in on, the position, maybe go over the schedule, the pay, any questions you might have on benefits, or really just digging more into the job description that we have posted. If you were to move past the phone interview, we will ask you or invite you to come on site. And usually for production positions, maintenance, fulfillment, the ones that I had said that we have availability for and are looking for, you would sit down with, I'm the recruiter, so you would sit down with myself, but also the department head. And then we would go through those formal questions. Also, that gives you a time to ask whatever questions you may have of us, but then we also want to get you out in the facility, so on the production floor, on the fulfillment floor, so you can actually see what the position entails, and you can see the environment, feel it, smell it, whatever the case may be. And then once your interview is completed and over, I try to have an offer or an answer back to a candidate within 24 to 48 hours after they've come through. Sometimes I even have offers out that day after they've left. So we like to get the process moving pretty quickly. It is pretty seamless, open communication, but that's just what you would expect if you were to apply with GNC, more specifically here in Chippewa Falls. So we are pretty close to UW-Stout, and we do recruit from Stout for our co-ops. But just in this facility here in Chippewa Falls, there are currently 28 UW-Stout graduates. So we have a graphic design team here. We have a structural design team here. So I think almost all of our structural designers graduated from UW-Stout. And then our manufacturing, engineering, the fulfillment process, which I'll touch on. I am a Stout grad, so that's exciting, and it's cool to see how many alumni we do have here. And then since 2015, we've had 35 students complete their co-ops. Another 2 will be starting at the beginning of the year, so that's really exciting. Our co-ops do last for 6 months, so it's great. It's really fun to see how much a student can grow within those 6 months within our organization. So structural design, we do have a structural design intern all year long. You can either do your spring semester into summer, so January to August or June, and then June to December. So like I said, they're 6 months. They start at $17 an hour. So we have our structural design department really is broken up into 3 different areas, I would say. So we have our packaging division, our in-store division, and then we also have our key customer division that we work with. So as a structural design intern, you would have the opportunity to train with those designers. Many of them have been here 15 plus years, so they have a lot of knowledge. Once you've got the basics, the gist of everything, then you would actually start getting some of your own smaller projects and being able to dive into those customer calls and those things of that nature. So like I said, it's a good learning experience. And for the structural design prior to COVID, I hope they want to start doing this again, but you're actually able to go to different facilities within GNC and see how they do there and work on different projects and that sort of thing. And then the fulfillment process internship. So we actually just started this in 2019, I believe. But this position is trying to find different ways to improve the process of our fulfillment floor. So really looking for manufacturing, engineering there, or supply chain. Supply chain students have been extremely successful in this role as well. We do have 2 students for the year. So again, either your spring semester or your fall semester, and this one starts at $15 an hour. And then as far as other employment opportunities go, so we recently just started recruiting for part-time. So your hours can be really flexible. We'll work around your school schedule. We would just want it nailed down as far as when you're going to be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 1 to 4 p.m., something like that. And this position would start at $18 per hour. You can work year round. So, fall semester, you may be working, like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe in the spring semester, you can work Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. So we'll work with you. We just want to make sure that we know when you're here. And then summer help, we've been doing this for quite some time, but if you come during the summer, so basically on your summer break, you can work 40 plus hours. There are 3 different shifts you can choose from. So we have first, second, or third. So whichever works best for, your personal life, then you can choose that. This one starts at $15 per hour. And then if you were to join us on a second or third shift, you would get $1.50 per hour on top of that $15 per hour. We have had many students come to work for us and then you know, say you're a packaging student and you just want to learn a little bit more, that's a great way to do it. We've had supply chain, really any type of student. Yes, you're working on a production floor and, you know, you might get dirty, you might be doing physical work, even though you're going to school for business. However, you're still learning about the customers that we're running through our facility, and it's great exposure. These are the success stories we've had. So summer help has been really awesome. I've heard great feedback from the individuals that we've had who come on site here. So I have converted some of our summer help to full-time positions, just because maybe, you know, they graduated or they're going to school, but they're not sure what they want to do. So two of the students that we had, Mason, he actually graduated from Eau Claire, but he joined us for 2 different summers. And after, you know, he graduated, we happened to have a position available in our accounting department. And so he applied and he got that position. So he became a permanent full-time GNC employee, doing the job that he had gone to school for. And he recently moved over by Appleton. So he actually, you know, applied, interviewed, and was offered a role at our laminations facility as well. So that was exciting. He's still within GNC, and, you know, it gave him all the opportunity in the world because he did prove himself out on the production floor. Cameron was a student that we had. He probably was with us for almost a year. He started his internship as the fulfillment process intern, and he actually took over running our pop-up facility in Eau Claire that we have for fulfillment. So like I had mentioned, we had so much growth, we actually had to outsource and find a different facility to run some of our projects. So Cameron actually took that over and was the point of contact in person there. And then he actually just not too long ago moved over to our Twin Cities location. They actually created a full-time position for him there. So it's exciting that happened. He learned a tremendous amount here, but it just goes to show you can do, you know, your college job during your summer break, but it really does open a lot of doors for you. So we really value our partnership with Stout and the students that come from Stout. So anything that we can help get exposure with, we want to do that for you. So really that's kind of all I have. I could probably talk about GNC for a lot longer, but would love to answer any questions you may have about anything that I talked about.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Samantha. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I will moderate and facilitate that. So any questions you have, pop them in there. Just another reminder, before the end of today's trek, if you can complete the official registration form. I've posted the link in the chat a couple times for you there. So yeah, what questions are there? And I guess we'll give you some time to think of some questions and type them out. I will ask a question. So you mentioned a couple students who had come in and worked, and then they converted to full-time employees. Is that kind of like what your goal is in working with interns, or is it just based on what's available?
Really it's kind of based on what's available. So for like our structural designers, if we had an opening and it was just the right fit for that person completing their co-op to stay, well then of course we would have them stay. Really, we don't see a lot of turnover in our office areas though. Like I said, our average is probably 15 to 20 years just in structural design, which is crazy. So really it is kind of just luck of the draw. But I have had some interns work for us, and maybe we in Chippewa Falls don't have a position, but if a sister plant, so Appleton, Oshkosh, Racine, the Twin Cities, if any of them do, I'm more than happy to send their information and talk to the hiring team there. So
it's a good sign with low turnover.
Yes.
So
yes.
It says a lot about the organization. So that's wonderful. A question came in just wondering if you had any internship opportunities specifically for 2022 spring that are open right now, or if they are all filled.
For the spring, we only had the 2 and those are filled, but we will be looking for individuals to start in June, end
Okay.
of May, June. So
And then another question, do you have any internships that revolve around health promotion and wellness opportunities? I know, I feel like that's a lot of interest to a lot of people, like health and wellness programs and managers at organizations. So question if you have anything around that.
we don't, and I'm not really sure if or when we ever will. Some of that, if something were to come about, just because we technically aren't the corporate office, I could see that being more in a corporate setting. So that would be Appleton. I don't think we would ever have anything like that here though.
Sure. Are you accepting full-time mechanical engineering degrees with maintenance experience for the Racine location maintenance position?
That is a great question. I can definitely find out.
Okay.
I would imagine that they have pretty similar standards. So I definitely think it would be worth the conversation, but yeah, I can definitely find out.
Okay. Any other questions right now? Not seeing anything come through, but yeah, so Alex, I just sent you a message, email me your question, and then I'll get you back in touch with Samantha, so she can answer that question for you about that Racine location maintenance position. So again, thank you so much for taking time to speak with us for our track today, Samantha. I really appreciate it. And we really appreciate Great Northern Corporation. And it was awesome. It's always awesome to hear about all the success stories that you have. So I really appreciate that. Thank you to the UW-Stout, or not UW-Stout, the UW System Career Track Committee for the collaboration on this project and all of the other tracks. This track has been recorded, as I mentioned, and it'll be live for viewing no later than noon on Monday. And again, they can be found on the website that was shared at the beginning, and I can put that in here for you as well. So if you're interested in any of the other tracks. So that link is there. And then, yeah, so like I said, just before you leave, fill out that registration form. Would really appreciate it. But otherwise, that is all we have for you today. So again, thank you everybody for coming, and thank you to Samantha and Great Northern Corporation. Hope you all have a good rest of your semester. And sorry, just reading the chat here at the same time, and holidays. For your Stevens Point students looking to get your credit, just complete that registration form. That is how we're taking official attendance of who is here today. So make sure you complete that form, and we will have that attendance list there. I will post it here one more time for you all, to make sure that you all have opportunity to take that. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. We will close out here today. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll look forward to seeing you in the spring.